Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about a couple of major pieces of news. Number one, a lot of you guys know XRP. They finally won. They defeated SEC. Let's talk about that. And also, let's talk about Bitcoin, of course. What happened with Bitcoin today? And someone reveals their massive Bitcoin fortune. Massive. All right. And let's talk about everything else that's going on today. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Bitcoin's slightly lower than this morning, hovering around 55.8 right now. This morning we got up all the way almost to 58,000, a little bit less. And then it came back down a little bit. And that's because the markets, U.S. markets turn around, right? This morning we start out very in the green. Then everything, Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, even Russell 2000, all turned red. Why is that? Maybe because this guy, Jamie Dimon, as you see right there, Jamie Dimon says he still sees a recession on the horizon, right? So, unfortunately, we may still be going through this iffy period where people are deciding whether or not the U.S. will go through a true recession. And if so, we're going to see a lot of volatility still with the markets, right? So today we were very green, very green, in fact, and then we turned red. So that's why Bitcoin turned down a little bit. But overall, Bitcoin is still recovering up from our previous low of 49,000, right? Still on its upward movement. And a lot of alts have been recovering. And today we have a big one. I'll get to that in a little bit. But as for Bitcoin, well, today, if you look at the ETF inflows, pretty positive so far. A lot of zeros. We have Grayscale still selling 30 million. No numbers yet for BlackRock. However, we do know that the volume was explosive. BlackRock had 771 million volume, right? Fidelity had 280 million, and you can see the rest, right? Massive volume day. But it'll be interesting to see tomorrow whether or not BlackRock bought and took in some more Bitcoin. I've been hammering on this point. Larry Fink knows what's going on and refuses to sell any little Bitcoin he has. He is loading up, right? Look at all the red from all the other funds, but not BlackRock. BlackRock only has intake, no outflows. So he knows what's up, right? And of course, many others do too. Hong Kong's digital bank Mox adds crypto ETF, plans direct crypto investing. Haven't we heard that recently? Yes, we did. Remember Wells Fargo, or Morgan Stanley, I should say. Morgan Stanley is offering Bitcoin ETFs to wealth clients. Now Wells Fargo is doing the same. So as you can see, all the banks are now starting to realize that their clients, especially the wealthy ones, the ones that truly want to hedge against inflation, truly want the best asset to buy, which is Bitcoin, well, now they're being offered, right? But in this case, Bitcoin ETFs, the next best thing. Not as good as physical Bitcoin, but the next best thing. Because these fund managers, they have to go buy more Bitcoin. With more people buying the shares, that's how it works, right? So, sounds good all around. And of course, you have one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls out there that continues to add. So Michael Saylor did an interview today with Bloomberg where he was asked about Bitcoin, obviously. And Michael Saylor just revealed himself that 4 years ago, he said he personally owns 17,732 Bitcoin. That's himself. That's not MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy has 200-something-thousand, but he himself personally has close to 18,000. And that was 4 years ago. And he was asked directly, well, so how much Bitcoin do you have now? He's like, at least that much. He's been adding to that. So Michael Saylor has over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin himself. And if you look at MicroStrategy, I mean, they hold tens of billions of dollars. This guy, one of the OGs in the space, right? That continues to load up. That's what I do too. I try to load up as much as I can. Of course, not nearly as much as Saylor, but you know, when it comes to Bitcoin, it is the one asset you just want to accumulate and hold forever. And if you truly understand what it's about, okay, why Bitcoin is so important, why it was created, why so many are turning bullish about Bitcoin, right? If you truly understand, then you know there's no better asset to hold. So, absolutely fantastic. So Saylor has over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin himself, right? But outside of Saylor, what else? Well, a lot of whales have been accumulating. The last 2 days, the 5th and the 6th, we saw the highest level Bitcoin whale transactions. This is the first week of April. So it's been 4 months. April, you know, March, April were good months. But now we're starting to see the same whale transactions. Whales are buying and buying and buying and buying. Okay, because they understand what's up. The whales are buying behind the scenes while retail lettuce hands are selling. That's how it's always been. But now we have so many metrics that tell us exactly what's going on. And we no longer have to guess. We know that they're buying, right? So we got to follow what these guys are doing, not what the paper retail hands are doing, okay? Now, here's something encouraging, though. Bitcoin addresses with at least 0.1 Bitcoin, which is still a lot if you think about it. That's still over $5,000 to Bitcoin. Average household in America or anywhere does not have $5,000 to Bitcoin. So even 0.1 Bitcoin is significant. Very, very significant. Not a whole lot of people have $5,000 to invest at all. But addresses holding 0.1 Bitcoin is nearing all-time high. So there are some retail investors, long-term holders, that are taking advantage of the dip. That's fantastic. They're learning. I bet majority of people watching me have done the same, right? So the good thing is we do have some retail that's listening, that's loading up as much as possible while things are cheap, while others, unfortunately, are panic dumping, right? So obviously, those that have the patience to continue to hold on DCA will be rewarded. What else is there? The Mayer multiple on-chain metric, it's measuring that Bitcoin is at the lowest level since 2022 when we were in bear market. Again, when Bitcoin was around 20,000, under 20,000. This is very similar to the other MVRV metric that I showed the other day, which showed that we are as oversold as the FTX collapse days, which was right around $15,000, right? Mayer multiple is also showing the same thing. This reset that we just had could be absolutely awesome. Awesome. And look at this. The George effect is in. We just pumped up almost to $57,000. But, you know, this dip that we just had, right? It could be a blessing in disguise. It really just reset everything and is making, you know, a path for us to get back to our previous high and form a new high, right? A lot of the on-chain metrics show that we are in oversold territory. Oversold territory. Now, something else that's also helping Bitcoin is the fact that the global M2 money supply is starting to go up. When the money printer starts printing and being distributed, and we know a rate cut is right around the corner, these are all great things for assets like Bitcoin. Not only will Bitcoin's price go up due to inflation, but also the liquidity factor. allows people and businesses and anyone in between to buy assets like Bitcoin, right? So that's also very, very positive. And the last thing I'll say about Bitcoin is this. Even with our dip, which if you zoom out, you can hardly see it. It doesn't even really register. Versus some of the previous dips that we had that were absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. But if you see where we are now in the halving event or past halving event versus all prior halving events, we're basically just going according to plan. We're moving sideways. And we're getting ready for that parabolic rise that will push us past six figures and may end up at 200, 250,000, 300,000. I don't know. Right? But that's what it's looking like. So absolutely fantastic. Now, outside of Bitcoin, what's the other big news today? Well, Ripple. Ripple won. Finally, since 2020, the SEC been going after Ripple for three things. Ripple won two. This is the last one. Three things. Number one, Ripple is a security because of unregistered sales. Ripple is a security because the founders sold a lot of their own tokens. And Ripple is a security due to being listed on exchanges, secondary markets, right? So the secondary markets argument was removed. Just because something is sold on secondary markets does not make it a security. Just because the founders, Chris Larsen, Jeb McCaleb, sold XRP does not make it a security. So this final thing is just, yes, Ripple was guilty of having an unregistered XRP sale, ICO. The SEC wanted a $2 billion judgment. And Ripple's like, no, we're not going to pay that. Most companies probably would have, especially Ripple, since they have the money. But they're like, no. They continue to fight, and the judge agreed that a $2 billion judgment is stupid. Or whatever they wanted, right? $2 billion was stupid. So the judge decided to make it $125 million. Okay, which is still substantial, still over $100 million, but still way better than $2 billion, right? Now, I see a lot of people in the live chat thinking that the SEC is going to appeal this. I don't think so. I don't think they will. They've lost all major cases against Ripple. I don't think they're going. They've spent how much? Hundreds of millions on this case. And plus, Gary Gensler knows he's about to be fired in a couple months. I don't think they will appeal this. And whether you like XRP or not, you got to thank Ripple, because Ripple has now set a precedence for the rest of crypto. Right? Now the SEC can't say, well, just because a crypto project had an ICO, it's a security. No, it doesn't automatically make them a security. They may have a legal token sale, but that doesn't mean that the token is a security. It could be a commodity. It could be a utility token, right? Also, the founders sold. Does that make a security? No. If a token is listed or a coin is listed on an exchange or a DEX, that doesn't make them securities either automatically, right? So now it makes it so much harder for the SEC to actually target crypto projects. They actually have to sue them individually. They can't just blanket sue and declare all these things securities now, right? So you got to thank Ripple for that. I don't think they're going to appeal, but who knows? Maybe they will, but I just don't think they spent so much time on this case and they've received nothing but L's so far. I just think that they're not going to appeal this. So good for Ripple. That's why XRP pumped up. Look at it. It's above 60 cents once again, pumped up almost 20% today. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, right? But it was at 60 something cents just a few days ago, or last week. So it didn't really make a whole lot of gains. You can see the last 7 days is still down by 4%. But you know what? You'll take it, all right? We'll take it. If you're an XRP holder, you'll take that. I am not, but you know. But you can see here, that's quite a pump. That's what she said. And wallets holding between 1 million and 10 million coins on XRP Ledger now holds an all-time high of 7 billion coins, roughly 4.42 billion. That is a whole lot. So good for XRP, good for Ripple, good for all XRP holders. Let's see if they can. With this over, there's no more cloud on XRP. There's no more of this SEC cloud. Okay, so can XRP finally build some momentum and start going upwards? Break through $1, break through $3, and finally hit that magical $4. We'll see. We'll see by end of next year if they can do that. What else is there? Hey, breaking news. Brazil approves the launch of the very first world's first spot SOL ETF. So yes, we now have a Solana ETF operating in Brazil, or soon to be. And hopefully we get one in the US soon. So that is absolutely fantastic. And those of you guys that have WIF or PopCat or anything else on Solana, they have been recovering quite nicely. So really, really good. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. D. Austin got my second Voyager settlement check. Congrats. I did too. I had money on Voyager, small amount, and I just got that check as well. So good for you. Rich says, I've been buying all day. Congratulations. Louis V, should I keep my ETH or transfer to Sol? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that for you, but for me, I have way, way, way more Sol than ETH. Celebrate by not playing the most educational video.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
Can you believe that video is now 7 years old? The most educational video ever created about XRP. 7 years ago. Came out 7 years ago. ETFs hash rate versus BTC price were undervalued. That is correct. Is it risky to stake Jupiter? Is it worth it? There's always a risk with staking, but hey, if you plan on holding long term, why not? Why not? Does the FUD ever get to you? Yeah, only the FUD itself doesn't get to me. It's only like the people that are really like getting on my nerves in live chat. So, you know, I know some people kid around, but sometimes when they take it too far, ban, instant ban. And here's the thing, here's my policy. I've had people write me emails before saying, George, I apologize. I don't know why I was banned, or I do know why, but I won't do it again. You know, the thing is, once I ban someone, it's a permanent ban forever. I've never like unbanned someone afterwards. So just be careful. Dominic sent me $30 to ask me about ICP. I don't like ICP. Never did. Had a horrible launch. It's not decentralized. It's not open source. And I don't know what the hell's going on ICP. So. Is it better to short XRP now or move it into another crypto like Doge? I don't know. You know, now that XRP doesn't have a cloud, it could just go right up to $4 or $5. But still, XRP, what's going to happen is you're going to see Ripple go ICO soon. IPO soon. They're probably going to wait until later this year. They already said so. And they're going to come out the stablecoin. So I think both of those things are negative towards XRP. So we'll see. What else is there? The Simpsons predicted XRP to $356. Well, at least that's better than $589. What cycle did you get your Ferrari? The last cycle. I'm pretty sure I ordered it end of 2021, and it didn't get here until end of 2022, and now we're in 2024. Is today Wednesday? Oh man, I totally forgot. Today's Wednesday. Today's DCA day. No one asked me about DCA day until now. I'm actually quite surprised by that. Let's see. Let's bring it up here. DCA day. So week over week, we're down 15% this week. Pretty bad. But let's see, all time. All time still up 31%. I know I've lost a lot because a lot of the alts did dump down in this last week, right? But you know what? I've been running this and DCAing for however many years, since 2021. Up and downs, up and downs. One thing's for certain. If you continue to DCA and HODL, the gains will come back. And they'll be greater than ever. So it's actually a great time to be DCing right now while things are low, right? So what should I add to? A lot of these turn red. Avalanche is my fourth biggest holding, huh? Interesting. Phantom, Near, Chainlink, Polygon, VeChain, Cardano. Those are still negative. But we got a lot of positive ones. I think Avalanche, barely down 11%, could be good by... I don't know what I added last time. BNB is up here too. You got a lot of reds here. A lot of L2s, L1s turning super red. Like Cosmos, Injectus, Sui, Arbitrum, Myro, Optimism, Beam. It is what it is. I think they'll come back, but... right now, you just got to bet on the fastest horses, right? So I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to add more Bitcoin and Solana. That's really it. There's no need to guess at this point. All right, Bitcoin's down, Solana's down. You gotta just like take advantage, right? So $50 into each one. $50 divided by 56,849. So that's 0.00879, I believe. And then Solana. Let's do $50 into it. So 0.3272. All right. Going to keep it simple. Bitcoin and Solana this time. We'll see how this is next week. Andy asks, George, will you be buying a Jetsons one flying craft after this bull run? No. I think I've seen it before. All the flying cars look so weird. Dan Cody, will you play the next halving, sell high BTC? Wait, Will you play the next halving, sell high BTC, buy low, or hold? Right now I'm just drinking water. I don't know what you're asking. The next halving? You mean after this cycle or next? I don't know what you're asking, but you know, as we get towards the top in 2025, I'm gonna make my cash pile bigger, right? I'll always have some, but I'm gonna keep my cash pile bigger. And then I'm gonna try to just DC over long haul, right? I know that at some point we're gonna have a major correction. Crypto winters usually last for 1.5 years, 2 years. Maybe this next one won't, right? But you know, I'll just continue DCA with the profits, and then you know, just wait it out until the next one, and then we're gonna have another pump up. You know, after this cycle, the next cycle, Bitcoin could be at $1 million each. JT Lyles, new member, welcome. Bobby Crypto, Saylor says there's no second best, but I do like Sold too. Yeah, there's a second best. Okay, you could say the first and the second place there's a big difference, but there is a second best. We skipped a whole 1,000 in a minute cycle. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. Like, when I was streaming, we're down here, right? I said, oh, you know, unfortunately, we went a little bit lower, 55, whatever. And then within, like, minutes, we go to 57,000. See, that's the George effect in play. I only take credit for pumps, never dumps. So if it ever dumps while I'm talking, I don't take credit for that. But if it pumps, yes, that's the George effect. Thinking dot count Ivan Knightley. Thinking dot eco has room. Got some mover today. Moon River. I don't know. I don't like anything in Polkadot. I don't like Moon River. I don't like Moonbeam. Like all the EVM based stuff on Polkadot makes no sense to me because there's so many L2s now. If you're like an EVM DApp or a game, you're not going to think about going to Moonbeam. You're just going to go on base, you know? So that's the thing. I don't think they're going to help Polkadot anymore. Jalamas, what's your second favorite L1? Is it AVAX? Yeah, I like AVAX a lot, but you can't really discount BNB either. BNB is a beast too. But another up and coming one has to be Toncoin. Even though I don't really see anything on Ton besides clickbait games. But, you know, their growth has been substantial too. Dominic says, Donald Trump Jr. announced today he's starting a DeFi project. Do you think with a Kamala win, we will still see a bull run regardless of recession? I don't know. I still think so because Bitcoin is destined to pump after November no matter what. That's part of a 4-year cycle. If you look at the last few, they all pumped no matter what president. Right? So, I don't know. Some argue we won't if Kamala wins, but maybe we will. I think Bitcoin is still moving according to pattern, what it has always done, which means that after November of this year, it's going to start moving. How do people find knuckle popping annoying? Knuckle popping is so soothing. $57.1, we're doing pretty good. You know, we have our high today is 57.7. We're only $600 away from that, right? Sol pumped up to 154. That's looking juicy. They're probably gonna go back to the 160, 170 soon. And then of course XRP had a huge pump today. But they still couldn't break this trend line. Look at that. You know, they still can't break it. XRP has been stuck under this trend line forever. And you could see that they're still not above this trend line. They need to break out of here, right? Get to 70 cents, 80 cents to really break through. And they still have not. And this has been forming since 2018. I'll be honest, I've been on my feet the whole day and I'm freaking tired. I need to take a shower. I need to get some rest. So a few more questions and then I'm going to have to get off. Mike says, everything is pumping right now. Thanks, George. I'll take credit for that. Can you remind new subscribers your previous crypto wins and last cycles? Well, Solana was definitely one of them. Avalanche was one of them. Bitcoin, of course, is a big one. BNB was in the previous cycle. I bought BNB when it was under $10, but I did not hold it all the way up to where it was 600. But I made some money with them. I even made some money with Tron. I made a lot of money. In 2017, Tron ran up from nothing. Cardano ran up from nothing. ETH certainly did too. BNB didn't really pump until like afterwards, but 2021, that's when you saw like Avalanche, Solana, Polygon get big. This cycle, who knows? You know, we haven't really seen emergence of a new sector yet get really, really hot. I think it could be memes, even though people hate that concept, but I think memes could get really, really hot. You just have to get in on the good ones, but a lot of the L1s, L2s, DeFi projects, DePIN projects, games will probably catch on. All right, guys. Have a good night. We're looking good. XRP holders should be cheering at this point, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right? Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
What do you think about Ripple? Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.